Good day, folks. This is Greg Judy at Green Pastures Farm. Today we're doing a fence building project. This is a sheep and cattle fence, and we're just running a sheep fence at 10.5 inches, and the cattle wire is at 29.5 inches. And this is the beast that Isaac and I was using a minute ago. Ben and Isaac used it this morning. That is a hand driver. It's just a great big piece of 4-inch pipe. You see there, it's got double handles on it with gussets. You want those gussets on there, otherwise you'll break the handles off. There's gussets top and bottom, and that's a 3/8 steel plate welded on the bottom of that. Anyway, we're driving these posts. You can drive whatever post you want. We use fiberglass. That is 1.25 inch solid fiberglass post. No foam in that, it's just solid fiberglass. And the boys and I cleared a path through this cedar grove. And what we're doing is, there's really good deer habitat here on the left going into this cedar grove. And when we put sheep in here to strip graze them, we always have to come clear out here. I'm going to show you. And we have to run a poly wire along the edge of this civil pasture area that we've created here. You see all the honey locusts. I'm sorry, autumn holly. And there's our water supply. There's the pond over there. And we didn't have any power to power up the wire around the pond either. So we're running a feeder power wire all the way through these cedars. And the obvious question is, why did you go into the cedars to run your fence? Well, several reasons. If you run your wire out here on the edge of this field, the brush will just come in and take your fence because of all the sunlight. But if you stay back in here, show you again, back in the shade, see, a lot of bare ground. Compliments of the cedar trees. Cedars turn ground acidic. You can see this, there's just nothing growing here. So we're not gonna have to worry about any trash being on top of our fence. And what we've done here is we've run this is a poly braid on all of our geared reels. And this is our straight line. So we run that out first and get it tight. This one's not tight, by the way, not yet. We just ran it out. But Isaac and I took the chainsaws and came through here, and Ben, he was stacking brush just about as fast as we could cut it. And we cut all the limbs and just made a road through here. It's beautiful back in here, it's shaded. But this is the deer bedding area back in there. I mean, it's thick. You can't walk through that. We don't need animals down there. So what we did is we came to this corner right here, and all that is there, folks, that's a solid 1-inch rod, but it's that long. That's a 6-footer. Then we take a cordless drill and we drill a hole in it right there. So that's at the 29-inch level. Down there is another hole. That one's at the 10.5-inch level. That's the sheep wire. Now I'm going to show you, we've already got a section of this completed, but I wanted to show you the step by step. So we got this wire pulled tight, the poly right here. That's pulled tight. That gave Isaac a straight line to drive his timeless post. And I love these timeless posts. Folks, these are 4-footers. Look at that. Beautiful posts. They're already pre-drilled. You don't have to paint them. The darn things are sharpened. Let's go over here. I'll show you one that's not in the ground. So this is the 4-foot model right here. Get it out of there where you can see it. Check that out. So it's already sharpened. It's shaped just like a T-post. See that? This is the 1.25 inch model because we're only running 2 wires. We don't need anything bigger than that. And so here's your label right there. You drive it into, these are older posts. They were in a pallet, I hadn't used them. And the label got weathered, but you drive the post in until that label right there is disappeared. That's your depth gauge right there. Okay, so that post is in the ground 2 foot. So we're leaving 29.5, well, about 30 inches sticking out. And Isaac has already untied the poly braid. And we're going to move this wire down to our next section we're getting ready to do. Look how straight he drilled those. Isn't that pretty? A straight fence, folks, is a tight fence. And if you've got a bend in your fence, you've got to put a big rod, or if you don't have access to fiberglass, you got to set a corner post. Isaac's got all these drilled. I'm sorry, driven. You don't have to drill them. Now I'm going to show you two different fastening methods. So this morning, Isaac and Ben and I put in the first section, we just fastened the wire on the outside, kind of like we did. Here's another corner. Now see, this one's got the wire on it. Okay, we're going to be pulling that on down. We're going, this pole section here, we're probably going around 1,000 feet. And that wire's held on that post. This is a corner. You see, we got it driven at an angle like that for a reason. It's pulling the opposite direction, so you give the post a slight angle against the pole, just like that. And we'll come back and paint these. That fiberglass post does not have a coating on it. Okay. This is an old brush pile that I made years ago. We cleared a civil pasture. I didn't burn it. You can come down here in the summertime, wintertime with snow on. There's bunnies all over this thing. There's bobcats living in here too, and I like that. So here's our new section. So we're running the wire in the second hole up, that's 10.5 inches. And then our top wire is going to be up here in this hole, that's 29.5 inches. That's the cattle wire. Down there's the sheep wire. Okay. Now our sheep are trained to one wire. It took us a while to do that. So you can't expect just to put sheep on this fence and have them stay in. They won't. You got to have them trained. Now here's a neat deal. So here we had a little creek, a little dip. How you keep that wire from raising up? Well, we took a 6-foot post and we drove it in at an angle. There's no way that post is going to come out of it. And then we fastened it just like this. This is soft galvanized wire. That's what we did. There's no way that post is going to come out of that muck. That's because it's over 3 feet in the ground. We only left 30 inches sticking out. So there's 3 foot, well, it's 3 foot 6 inches sticking in the ground. That post is in there. I mean, look how solid that is. It's like a tree. And then up here, of course, is a spinning jenny. This is what you call a payout spinner, or the regular name is called the spinning jenny. That's got 4,000 feet of high-tensile wire on it. And so you set your wire on there first. You got to loosen these bolts. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. And you push those in so you have room to set this whole wire roll on. That's 100 pounds, folks. There's 4,000 feet of wire there. 12 gauge. This one is 180,000 PSI. And when you cut the bands on it, make sure you got these pulled out. Retighten those nuts. And see how I've got it on there? It's centered. Okay. And then I'm just going to pull it a little bit. You can see it. See that? Isn't that cool? And it's got a nut in the middle there. You can tighten that nut up, and that's your clutch. So you tighten that thing up, the jenny will not backspin on you. Okay, I've got it set just about right. The other thing is when you cut the, there's 4 wires on this. There's one here, and there's one over there on each side. When you cut those off, make sure you take the one that's on the inside of the spool, which is right there, this one I'm pointing at, and wrap that thing around the nut. If you don't, you're going to lose that tail in this wire. And it's going to get wound around and you're going to have a mess. So always wrap that around that nut before you get started. And this is the one that's actually building our fence right here on the outside. Now I'm going to roll that back up because that Isaac's not ready for me. We're actually going to pull that through here in a minute. Yeah, go ahead, Isaac. We're going to pull that dude. So what he is he's playing sewing machine. Eye through the needle up there. He's going through those timeless fence posts. The second hole up, which is our 10.5 inch wire, 10.5 inch height. And folks, if you have one person right here just doing what I'm doing, when you get out there about 800 feet, it sure helps Isaac. Because you got to remember, he's going around some bends over there. Plus, he's pulling it through every one of those posts up through there. Okay, I better stay awake. It really helps the guy pulling the wire to do this. And when you see him kind of slow down, stop. But I'm just taking my hand right there, just kind of pulling on it real slow. You don't have to do this if it's a straight run. I just tie it on and go. You know, you can just take off down the hill running it through those holes. But he's got 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 bends in this next section. So I'm helping him out here. There you go. He ought to be just about to that next corner post. Okay, see, he stopped. Oh, he's running it through the hole. This is what we call a contractor grade of spinning Jenny, folks. This is one of the best ones made. You can get this through Powerflex. This one here is about $179. You can get them cheaper for like 70 bucks, but that's what you get. You get a $70 spinning Jenny. And they're nothing to write home about, I can tell you that. This one will last you your lifetime. It is really, really well made. Okay, he's there. Now, I told you I'd show you our completed fence. Ta-da! There it is. So there's our sheep wire. And we do use the knot like that, so it looks kind of like a, kind of like a hangman's noose. Let me get closer if we can see it. There you go. So it's just going around that post, and we drill the hole in it on the back side. There's no way that wire can go anywhere. And then this wire, the reason we leave a long tail on it is so when we hook on with our next wire here, where my thumb is, see, it's going to go around here as well and go toward Isaac. This piece of wire right here will be crimped onto the other piece of wire. So you got continuous connectivity down through your fence. Same way on the bottom wire. But look up through there. Isn't that beautiful? But this morning we were kind of in a hurry, and I'm like, guys, I don't know if we can pull it through all those holes. And so we did this. This is another way you can do it. This is not as fancy and it doesn't look as nice, but it's effective. Look at that. So we just ran a piece of 12 gauge soft galvanized through the hole, around the post like that, and then we gave it 3 twists. Did that with both the sheep and the cattle thing. I mean, this thing goes up through their ways. We got so many bends in this fence. I just decided we're going to run it in sections. And this thing just goes on and on and on and on and on. Going back up toward the road here. And see, right up here though, guys, ladies, it made a bend. And at this bend right here, I drove a 1-inch solid fiberglass rod. So that keeps me tight. If I'd have used normal line posts, it wouldn't have been able to take that bend. It would have bent over. And now you got a loose fence. Look how tight that is. It looks like a guitar string. And it's 29 inches. I can step over that without shocking myself. Okay. Goes all the way up here to the public road. There's a gravel road right up here in front of me. Here we go. And we drove another solid fiberglass rod as a corner. So here we're pulling almost a 90-degree bend. Okay. And there it is. There's a corner post driven up by those bales. So folks, we've got a feeder wire and a sheep fence down the perimeter of our farm now. So when we bring the sheep in here, or the cattle, all we got to do is come over and hook on, hang a reel anywhere we want. We've got power. And we have a very effective fence to keep our livestock in. I didn't show you the tensioner. This is called the Daisy. Can't believe I walked past that tensioner and didn't show you all that. That's pretty cool. I like these daisies, and that's because you don't have to cut your wire to tighten them. Here we go. We're coming up on them right now. There they are. That's called the daisy. So there's a tool that goes in there that fits right there in that hub, and it twists counterclockwise. Okay, when you get it twisted, this piece right here, I put my thumb on it right there, that goes in there. It's like a little pin, goes in on both sides. If your wire ever gets loose, you just put your tool back in that slot right there, that square slot, push the other direction, pull your pin out, which is this, just pull it out like that. And give it another crank or two, stick your pin back in. That is a beautiful thing. And guys and ladies, that tensioner is like $1.50. Your other tensioners you buy on the market, they're going to be, you know, $2.75 to $3.50 a piece. And you got to cut your wire to put them on. This one you don't. So I love these daisy tensioners. And those, again, are available through PowerFlex. That is a great tool. I love that thing. And there's no place for it to really fail. I mean, I haven't seen any of them working yet. So I love them. And Isaac is down here waiting on me. I'm up here blabbing. And he's probably wanting to pull that next section. But look at this. This is an easy fence for deer to hop over. It's an easy fence for turkeys to get to. They'll hop over that first wire. Or they might fly over it. And it's quick to put up. I mean, the hardest part of this whole project was clearing this brush. Isaac and Ben and I worked at it for 2 days. And there was a lot of brush clearing to do in here. But we're on easy street now. We're just stringing wire and driving posts and stringing it. And it's going well. So Isaac's down there waiting for me to fasten on and go. So with that, that is the timeless fence system. You can either fasten them on like that on the outside of the post, or you can do like Isaac and I are doing right here, running it through the post. This makes a lot more attractive fence. You don't have to have a fastener. That is your fastener. It's already in there. And this will be our top wire up here. So as soon as we get this one crimped, we'll be doing that next wire. So with that, you all new to the channel, hit that subscribe button on the way out, and we'll see you all down the road. And everyone have a great day.